Okay, we are live. This is the Fighting News TV. This is the semi-regular show where we're bringing you the best of international, national, and local fighting news. Today we have with us two very, very special guests. First, Jake Brutal Bostwick. You have never seen him on our show before. It's his first appearance. Let's give a big round of applause for Jake.
Hi.
Thank you very much for having me on the show, guys. Appreciate you.
One of my faves.
All right, we appreciate you too. We have our old friend Derik Santos, who is actually working with this gentleman. So, Derik, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Excellent, excellent. And you all know Melissa. We haven't seen her on the show for a while, but she's back tonight. Awesome. And we also just quickly want to give a shout out. We want to quickly give a shout out to our sponsor, Fusion CBD. Use them; they have good stuff. And if you use the code Fighting News, you will get a discount. So, Steve is modeling the mask that he made for them. Good job.
Is that what that was? Let's see.
Yes. So, without further ado,
let's see. All
we
right.
are going to we're gonna ask our guests some questions here, and customary ladies first. Melissa, you have some questions for Jake.
Of course. Yes, I do have some questions for Jake. First, Jake, where have the stories on your cats been? Because I've been missing those. I follow you on Instagram, and I love your stories, and you brighten up my day. And I haven't seen any stories on your cats. What's going on?
I don't know. I was posting a bunch of personal stuff for quite a while, and then I just kind of wanted to pump the brakes with my personal life on the ground, so I come away from it and just try to keep it a little bit more professional, you know. But I'm slowly but surely sharing my little babies. They're sitting there with me right now. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I see also that you haven't slowed down at all when it comes to training. I mean, just the way that I met you, you've been pushing hard, and I really want to know, like, do you have anything on the agenda that you're training for, or is it just something that you're doing just because it's a part of who you are?
So I've been ticking over for a little while, but you know, it's been hard to have a solid structure and stuff, just with, you know, everything that's been going on with the Rona, and
Right.
not having a fight booked and whatnot. So it's all been a bit all over the place. But the last couple months, I suppose, I've really got my head down and really tried to up the ante on my work and my work ethic. So I'm kind of getting myself fight ready, so I'm ready for whatever, you know. But we've been keeping our eyes open for the bare knuckle scene. It's really something we've been working for and towards, and me and Derik have been working phenomenal together. So yeah, hopefully some good things to come. But right now, nothing's on the agenda.
All right.
You know, Jake, I never noticed this before, but I can tell from your accent that you're not from around here.
I'm not from South London, Sam.
London?
Yeah, I'm from the other side of the pond for sure.
London, England.
That's the one, mate. That's the one. SE3.
Yeah,
And what brought you here?
Originally training camp, American Top Team, almost 6 years ago now, I think, almost something like around 2015. Came over here for a training camp. I went back home, long story short, met a young lady, ended up moving over here, got married, stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of been 6 years now. Sadly divorced and stuff, but that's just part of life. But that's the original reason why I was over here for training, and I did actually get married. So, but yeah, right now I'm on a good path, just training and getting my head down, and yeah, I'm having fun with it.
I feel you, brother. That's what happened to me. I moved down here and I got married within within a year. But now I'm divorced too. So
yeah, you understand that.
There's nothing sad about it.
Nah, you know, it's life, it's learning, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean?
It's all good. It's all good, man.
So South London, right? Because I was trying to read up on you a little bit and do my research, and I did see that you were from South London. So having been here for quite a few years, what would be the most comparable location here in the States that you would compare to South London? Would it be like New York City? Would it be South Boston? Like, what do you think is most comparable to South London, just so that I can get a good idea of where you're from?
As in, like, is a similar, like the same kind of thing?
Yeah, like, you know, like the same vibe.
Same vibe. So it's a difficult one. There's a place called Lewisham, right? It's in South London by me, by my parents and stuff. That's a little bit like Hialeah. I'm kind of like that, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just different. It's really hard to explain. Just America itself is just it's its own thing, you know. Compared to anything in London, down to the weather, seeing the buses and the accents, it's just so different. It's so different.
Yeah, we say mom and you say mum, right?
I say mum, but mum is spelled M-U-M.
Right.
You say mum, it's
Mum.
M-O-M, but you guys do that way around, and I do not understand.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's only one letter. Come on now. No big deal. Let's move on.
Derik, what's it like to train with somebody like Jake, you know, pretty much on a daily basis?
Well, I can tell you, this young man, you know, he's really gifted. You know, since I've been working with him, I had heard about him before and just kind of knew a little bit. And then, you know, he came in. He was brought in by Maureen Shea. We talked about working together. She put us together, and I've really been pleased with everything. You know, with his intent on learning the craft. He's got incredible potential, you know, power and speed. And like you said, you know, now we're looking on the scene of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And I really think that it's sort of, you know, that's I know it's a big deal, but it's also, there's certain people that are built in a sense for that. And I think that he possesses a lot of talent that can be very effective there. So it's been very exciting working with him, and you know, we're looking forward to the future.
Nice. Did you play any sports growing up, Jake? Over there?
I started off when I was super young in like Taekwondo when I was maybe 7 or 8 till I was about 10, 11. I don't really remember much of that, to be honest. But then I moved on to judo. And at the same time, I was playing rugby. I played for a team called Blackheath, and it was like quite a decent sized team. So it was quite a decent sized team. But yeah, that was my thing. I'm short, compact, super quick. So when I was younger, that was my thing. You know, grabbing the ball, running with it.
Yeah, man. Rugby
yeah,
is
something
no
like
joke.
that. I've always been into contact sports. I tried boxing.
It's always
judo,
the short, compact ones that you got to be scared of, right?
Say that again.
Explosive. It's always the short, compact ones that you said.
There we go, exactly. And Derik's trying to calm me down on when to wind that up and when to pop it off, and things are moving smoothly.
So I was just at a press conference for Bare Knuckle.
Awesome.
They just signed Paige Van Zandt to Bare Knuckle. Have you ever? How would you train for that, Derik, with Jake for Bare Knuckle? Because it's really hard to train.
No, it's not. No, let me break it down to you. Bare Knuckle, in essence, is boxing with two different things. One, you're allowed to hold and punch more than you would in boxing. And two, you got no gloves on. Other than that, it's really boxing. This is not a different sport. It might look like a different ring, but it's not a different sport. So let me make that real clear before anybody starts thinking that, you know, obviously you better be sharper. You better be better with your defense. You know, you got to really be focused, because sometimes, of course, with gloves on, you can make a mistake, you know, and survive that. But here, you know, you go past 2 or 3 mistakes, and you know you're gonna be cut up and you know, maybe knocked out. So you know you have to be focused, and that's what we're working on.
And Jake, if you got signed tomorrow from Bare Knuckle, what weight class would you be in, and who would you want to fight?
I'll probably fight at like 185. I can for sure go back down to 170. At 185, it's just a nice weight for me, really. I'm at 15, 20 pounds out as of now. So making weight in the next couple of weeks, if there was an event soon, it's easy money. But yeah, 185, and then maybe at 170 at some point, depending on how it all goes and if and when something happens. And I don't know until I know. So
Right.
now I'm kind of going with the flow. But yeah, 185.
Are there any fighters you'd want to fight that you think would be a good matchup?
Names. I'm not one of them people just to try and talk crap. But there's a few people that I definitely feel I could stand and trade off with, no problem. So yeah, let's just kind of see what happens. I think trying to be in talks with the guys and see what happens. But right now we don't know. But yeah, I'm not going to list off anything until we get something sorted.
Okay, so if you need any help, we know David Feldman, the CEO of that company.
His management team's taking care of that.
Yeah, well, there you go. So we just have
fingers crossed.
Maureen Shea.
Is backstage. She's backstage right now.
What's up, Maureen?
Hey, Maureen.
How are you?
Surprise. And Chorizo.
Hey, Chorizo.
The dog is on.
I want to come on. I wanted to kind of, you know me. I like to talk, so I got a lot to say.
How you doing?
Thanks for bringing the dog before you start. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. It was the dog. I know. It's all about the dog. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Jake and Bare Knuckle. So I've watched, I've trained with Jake for 1.5 years. I met him through Phil Daru. We were strength training together. And, I know he had some MMA fights. He's got quite a few MMA fights, over 30, right, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of those fights were taking place in the UK, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think, then he came over here and then he tried his hand in boxing. And the thing about Jake that a lot of people don't understand is he's very explosive. And, with MMA, boxing is very different. It's not that he has good hands, but knowing the rhythm and the timing difference in MMA and boxing and takedowns and things like that, I don't think that he got the proper training when it came to the boxing. But when I heard about Bare Knuckle, because I actually had a meeting with David Feldman in regards to me working with them, and I knew Jake was perfect for Bare Knuckle. I said he's tailor-made for this sport. And I was glad, when he wanted to do it too. And, so then I met up with David and talked about Jake quite a bit. And he was like, okay, we'll see what happens. Then, the Rona happened. And now, I got a call from David Feldman. So we're staying ready. That's the plan. We're just to stay ready. It's different as a fighter myself. I understand the importance of having a date and having everything scheduled. But in situations like we have here, in regards to what's going on with the state of the world right now, and Jake being new to the bare knuckle scene, bringing him on and knowing the time and the place. I mean, he's ready to go no matter what. So I think for him, it's more just staying dialed in and staying focused. I'm really happy that he's working with Derik. I think that was what was missing in his training before when he was when he had the 2 boxing matches. I'm really glad that he took it upon himself to recognize what he needed, and for people to understand, the difference is the reason I feel that Jake has an upper hand in bare knuckle is because he understands the clinch, he understands the how to use leverage. So in bare knuckle, you're allowed to grab behind the head and punch. And so Jake and I actually went to one of the bare knuckle fights when Hector Lombard was on the card and Yuli was on the card. And so that was really interesting for us to see all that live and kind of assess and come back to Derik. And Derik actually got to see it too, but we all got to kind of talk about what we saw and what we think would be good, And I think that, anybody watching if you watch Jake on Instagram, and you see him, he's exciting, he's explosive, he's a phenomenal athlete. And he's a character. I mean, he's so, he's got and I think that in any fight you see him is going to be entertaining. So,
right. And not only that, but Maureen, I'm sorry, just like yourself, he's a very positive person. So he's just so intoxicating, just so positive and so happy all the time. He's just like the highlight of my day sometimes when I see his stories in the morning. Yeah. Good mornings. We need the good mornings again. I need that.
I haven't done them in a while. I apologize.
Do one for the
I've had a few requests.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that people getting to know him outside of the ring and then seeing him inside the ring is going to be really exciting. So right now we're just staying ready and waiting. I'm just waiting for David Feldman. I mean, he had an opponent for him. You know, we didn't get a name because we just stayed ready. We're ready. So I'm like, who do you want to put him in there with? So I have the utmost confidence in Jake and you know, and Derik and what they're working on and how they're working. So I'm confident. Obviously, give him one fight before you put him in there for a championship. But you know, at least one fight. But I think that he's ready, and I think that he's going to bring a lot to the bare knuckle scene.
Well, look, with the corona going on, his first fight could be, you know, if someone backs out, his first fight could be for an interim belt, just like, you know, it's happening.
And you know what, though? Listen, that I wouldn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want that to be the first fight there. I think that, you know, I don't care if it's a guy that's got a bare knuckle fight. We're not like, you know, picky, but, you know,
We just want to fight.
Yeah, we want to fight. We want to be right too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because bare knuckle's different. It's a different, you know, so, you know, in order to give him the opportunity to showcase his skills and his abilities, I think a more of an even matchup would be fair. And then after that, that's different. But at least the first one, I think it's a little bit more even.
So they can't. Shannon Briggs, another person they signed, who's 48 years old. I don't think anyone wants to fight him. So is Jake one of those people where they're like, yeah, we'd love to bring him on, but it's going to be hard to get him a fight just because, you know, you watch some of his MMA videos and, you know, he knocks people out.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's too hard because it's a different sport.
No, it won't be a problem.
Yeah.
It won't be a problem.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that it's just, you know, I mean, listen, we're not sitting there. I'm not being picky, and there's not that many people right now on the scene that has all this experience, you know? I think just setting up good fights, and after speaking with David Feldman, I think that's the whole purpose and the point of what he's trying to do with BKFC, you know? So I think he wants to put on good fights and, you know, obviously make it entertaining and make it exciting and you know, but a little realistic. You know, you're not going to put him in for a title fight the first fight. You know, you want to build.
Right. Also, there's so many guys from South Florida, Jake. What if they end up putting you in there with someone that you know, someone you train with, or you know?
Well, it really depends on who that would be or whatever. Obviously, that would be a discussion between the team. But yeah, I don't look to fight any teammates or anything, you know, of that aspect. But obviously, business is business. I'm just trying to have fun doing what I do. I just need to fight. I just want to fight. You know, at the end of the day, I just want to fight.
I hear you. I see it.
So
we see it.
If it comes down to it, obviously that'd be a discussion between the team.
Yeah.
There's enough out there. There's people.
There's plenty of fights out there between people in the same time.
Yeah, and I mean, it wouldn't be a smart thing to put him in with somebody from South Florida right off the bat. I think building that up, you know, when it comes to promotion and stuff like that, that's different. But you know, I think that you know, he's getting some great sparring right now too, and you know, so we're ready.
So Jake, a lot of Fighting News fans want to know, which is your first tattoo you've ever gotten?
My first ever tattoo was actually this whole sleeve. It was my chest, my arm. I was in Thailand. I was 17, and I done like 39 hours or something. I went into a shop. I got infected.
Let's see it.
Oh,
it got infected too.
Explain what the bruises are, please, so they don't think you're like.
Nice.
Oh, the cup. That's from.
Mo, you know you did that, Mo.
Yeah,
you know you did that at training today.
Oh, look at them guns. Anyway, so yeah, no, it's okay. That's just from cupping. So, yeah, no, it's all this tribal piece.
Relax.
Oh, did you heard him today in training?
Come on now. Steve, show them both off, man. Show them both off.
Let me see some guns. Come on, son. So yeah, that was my first piece. I was 17. I was in Thailand.
Nice. And how many have you gotten? How many since
honestly,
then?
Mate, I've got a decent amount, but time-wise, I've got about 180 hours on my body, or so. 180, 190 hours. So I tried to work this out the other day. Yeah, I got plenty. They've got plenty more space, son.
They look good, man. They look good.
Appreciate you.
It does.
It's like a work of art, I suppose, you know.
So, Derik, what's been the most difficult thing about adjusting and making adjustments for training for bare knuckle?
I
calming
think
me
that
down.
as what, training Jake for bare knuckle or in general?
In general, compared to boxing.
I think the good thing was that, like Maureen said, after we went to the event, and then after that, I went to another event which she commentated. And I watched some videos. I quickly grasped the concept of just making sure that the trajectory of certain punches change a little bit, just because you don't want to be hitting people on top of the head,
Right.
to protect your hands. But I also quickly saw that this is much my sport, and not what I was thinking that, oh, it would be something completely different. Um, it's right up my alley, man. You know, I mean, it's just
Right.
what I, like I said. And so I've worked on some minor adjustments, you know, and talking to the fighter about, you know, make sure that, you know, you drop a shot in like this or like that, and, you know, take your time, don't hit them on top of the head, those kind of things. But it's very much, you know, nothing that I could not decipher fairly quickly after I saw the 2 shows with Maureen and did a little research myself.
You could block some shots with the top of your head.
Yeah, what's so nice? Grabbing.
You know,
I prefer slip, dip, and roll
right.
versus blocking
But at
any
that
shot
split
with my feet.
second, you know, at the
You know,
last
Derek,
second,
I always
you
see
have to take it on the top of
training
the
with
head.
these amazing athletes on a regular basis, but really I don't know like anything about your background, maybe it's because I'm new to this game and to this world. But can you tell me like a little bit about where you're from and where you come from and how you made it to where you are today and doing what you do?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was born in Puerto Rico. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. Most of my family lives in New York, Florida, and Puerto Rico. There's a few that live outside of that. I spent 2 years in
What part of
Chicago.
Puerto Rico is your family from?
Bayamon,
Bayamo.
Puerto Rico, yeah. So I have a home there. And
My dad's from Salinas.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the northeast side of the island.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was always intrigued by boxing. It was around boxing my whole life. My godmother was Roberto Benitez's sister. So I had some incredible moments with him when I was younger. He was fighting, and really, you know, it was just me being an amateur fighter. I had aspirations of turning pro, but to be honest with you, 2 things happened. One, I got injured. I was in a camp in 1997, main events at a camp down here. One, I got injured. And secondly, truthfully, I didn't have the quality, I think, training behind me. But I was always into boxing also as in a more analytical sense. You know, a lot of my friends, I had friends that were Golden Glove champions and things, would ask me to help them because they always used to say I had good eyes. And I used to critique fights. Like, instead of being a fan, I used to be like, oh, he missed that shot or he could have done this. And over the years, you know, I got back into boxing as an amateur coach. I became a head coach for the City Pal. Then, you know, I did the right thing. I held out for a while because I had a lot of pros that were asking, but they weren't the right ones. And I was fortunate enough to work under some big names and around some big names in boxing, some very successful names. And I learned it all, from being the bucket boy to the third assistant to the second assistant to the main assistant to being a head coach. And, you know, I did a lot of studying even of the coaches and the methods of the coaches that are not alive today, you know. You know, if you do that, you know, you can go far. You know, you got a lot of coaches sometimes nowadays that they're just, you know, I don't want to badmouth anybody, but I did, you know, a lot of studying, a lot of research. I continue to do so. I continue to adapt and evolve with the athletes that we have, because they're all individuals that train them differently. It's a lot of psychological part of it too. And so, you know, I've been doing this almost now 20 years. And first of all, I'd like to say thanks also to all of my fighters from DS Boxing, whether bare knuckle, MMA, the boxers, because at the end of the day, they have to trust in me. They have to guide me. They're the stars. They are the sports. They're the stars. They're the sports cars. I'm just the GPS and the guide, you know. People started calling me the mechanic, and it kind of stuck because I always believe in technical details, you know, like that saying says. The difference between something and something special is in the details, and that's kind of the path I always take.
Yeah.
And that's my life.
Yeah, Jake, what do you think you've gotten at the most out of training with Derik compared to all the other striking coaches and stuff that you've had?
The details, like I'm like
It's
an
in the
engine
details.
running. I'm an engine running, blah, 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 and he's just like putting the nice tires on and the nice wheels and lowering it a bit and fixing
So
it
the
all up.
mechanic best.
So
Sure.
I've got the power and everything's there, but he's just crisping everything up, bringing just everything tighter, hands tighter, understanding the movement, understanding the footwork. The footwork that goes into boxing is mind blowing. Even sometimes I have major brain farts, like crazy, but it's just like understanding it, you know. And yeah, Derik's like absolutely changed me in every way, shape, and form. I'm so looking forward to trying to show what we've learned, you know.
Very nice. That's fine.
You gotta understand something.
Major brain farts.
We're in a sport that's in it.
And yeah, Derik like absolutely changed me in every way, shape, and form. I'm so looking forward.
You got to understand something. We're in a sport that's an imperfect sport. So you should be chasing a perfection that does not exist. But if you chase that perfection that does not exist and you try to minimize the problems, you're going to find excellence along the way of that path a lot of times. You're going to find success a lot. Everybody wins some and loses some. Even the best trainers in the world have lost tons of fights. But that being said, you know, that's my path. I go down that path and just try to, you know, minimize the mistakes and be creative with what we do with each fight.
Gotcha. Maureen, you're back. What are you coming in and out? What's going on?
No, I had to do something.
Okay. Where did Mr. Rossetti go?
I don't know. Oh, Bobby's out.
There he is.
Backstage.
He's backstage. Bring him on. You don't just kick a guy off the show, man. He's coming
Yeah.
in. How you doing, Mr. Rossetti?
Hello, welcome.
How are you? Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Bobby Rossetti, friend and fan of those two, and when I'm lucky enough, I get some coaching from the coach here up at Delray Boxing.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And
while we're on there, I just want to say a massive thank you to Mr. Man Rossetti over here. He's helping out my mum with a few things. My mum just gone through cancer surgery, and he's trying to help, send over some products and stuff to help. So a massive thank you to you, son. Much
Anything
love,
for you, brother. Anything for you.
Thank you.
God
son.
bless. God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah, God bless
Anyway,
your
carry
mom.
on. Carry on.
yeah,
Prayers up.
yeah. Shout out to your mom, Jake. We hope she's doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Thank you. She's
That's great to hear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good. So where were we? Mr. Rossetti, do you have anything to add, anything to say about these two that you are fans of?
Oh man, so I've known Maureen for a bit. I think Derik's one of the best guys in the business. I'm enamored by Maureen and her ability to continue to grow at this age. I got to be honest with you. And Jake and I are like basically the same person, just
Less tats.
Yeah.
Left the Wi-Fi, bro.
That's tough.
There's a lag.
And Jake can move. Never mind.
That's
But
funny.
I'd like to say about what I see with Jake and Derik, the work that they've been doing together. I see, like, you know, how you said about Derek's attention to the details. You know, like I said, Jake's very explosive. So to see him kind of like settling down a little bit, taking his shots a little bit more, and the head movement, and understanding the purpose of the placement of the punches. You know, the thing that people need to understand about bare knuckle, you know, it's very unforgiving. You know, so you're getting clipped with the shot, you're going to feel that shot. It's not like you have the gloves on, you know, where you have the padding and you can take repetition. That's a big reason too, where you can take repetitive punches, which, you know, there's argument right now that actually causes more damage, you know, in the long run. And bare knuckle is actually safer, or MMA, because it's one shot is the damage and it's done. So I think what people are going to see a lot of is the defensive side of Jake, along with the explosive side, but also the patient side. We've watched a couple of videos of some of these guys fighting, and they're coming in just feeling like lunatics, and things are, it's telegraphed, and they're just hoping one shot, lands. But there's calculation to this too. There's punches that are actually, more damaging to the other person and less damaging to the hands of the fighter. That's throwing them. So I really found it really intriguing with the bare knuckle. I was approved to fight for them by David Feldman, and I'm not going to say I didn't consider it. I watched it and I thought about it, and I said, I see what the game is and I understand it. For me, where I'm at in my career right now, it's going to be a smart move. But I'm happy to support somebody like Jake doing it, because I know like what I would do for myself if I was to go into it, and do better than to have my coach, work with him on what we would do with me if I was to do it. But I think the movement and the placement of the punches is really important. I don't think the code has been cracked quite yet in this game. I don't think many people understand the science. There's an extreme science behind boxing. I'm not going to say there isn't a science behind MMA, but there's a boxing, which is why it's called science. So I think the boxer in this case is going to have the upper hand, or the one that understands the science behind the boxing is going to have the upper hand of bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Or the mechanics, as we would say.
Yeah, and the waters haven't been tested quite yet to see, because there's not enough boxers, to MMA fighters there. There's more MMA fighters. But I had a great conversation with Paulie Malignaggi, who's a friend of mine too, at the fight. And I said, Paulie, like, what did you feel? What did you think? He said, the biggest mistake I made was throwing a punch like a boxer.
Right.
Yeah, because you follow through, right? And that's the part that hurts, right?
You think you're damaging, but you have to remember there's no pad to protect your hand. Unless the fight is break your hand early on.
Right.
Well, I mean, you've got the perfect name, Jake. Brutal. It's going to be brutal.
Honestly, I just think the style of fighting seems so exciting. Like, I watch MMA and I get so bored. Like, I don't mind watching some boxing, but when it comes to bare knuckle, like, it doesn't get more raw or real than that. You know, like, it's nothing closer to combat than that. So for me, it's like a test. It's like all in my head, and it's like, yo, I'm excited. I just really
excited every day in the gym, in the strength conditioning.
How many fights you been in, Jake, in your life? Fist fights.
Fist fights?
Yeah.
Many. I worked the doors from when I was like 17, 18 to I was about 23, 24.
Okay,
so yeah, most weekends, mate.
So you're used to this bare knuckle
That's
game.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
Say, how'd you get that? I've got experience. Like, I understand it. So
yeah,
I just think it's gonna be fun. It'd be nice just to put it together in a professional manner, in front of a good stage of platform, and hopefully finish with a lovely KO. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we have.
What was that?
Professionally.
Professional, in a professional manner.
Right.
We have
on the 11th. Are there spectators on the 11th allowed?
Not many.
It'll be on.
It'll be an online situation.
It'll be televised, I'm sure, on DAZN.
It'll be on DAZN. It's their new contract.
We're for a call back from David to secure the opponent. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I would think those schoolyard, those scraps as a kid really gives you an advantage, because you know what it's like to hit someone.
How it is to have a street fight, like when you're just using your hands, grabbing the head, and a little bit of a push and a shove, and like the dirty boxing. It's a whole nother style of fighting. And like when I'm in the gym and I wrap my hands, you have to leave like an inch of the knuckles out and all that. I clamp them up, I tape them up, and I whack the bag. I'm whacking mitts, and it just feels so good. Like, it just feels so right. Super comfortable. Right. I'm really looking forward to like putting it to work, and hopefully.
The only thing you can't do is spar someone. You're not sparring someone with.
No, when it comes to sparring, there's nothing that's what I mean. When it comes down to it, there's nothing like getting punched in the face and getting punched in the face. Like with no glove on, like you can't implement that. So when it comes to sparring and you're taking shots, it's like, but if I didn't have gloves on right now, you would probably be knocked out, or you'd definitely be cut, or whatever. You know, but you got to be mindful, obviously, of breaking your own hands. So it's like turning the shots over in certain ways and where to actually aim for, where to hit, because you don't want to hit an elbow, you don't want to hit him in the head, but you might want to hit him around the ear or whatever. So yeah,
right there. That's the spot.
Straight in the mouth, mate.
Right in the
I
button,
feel like
maybe.
once you get to that point, once you get to that level of professionalism and perfecting your craft, it's like a different level of awareness to even get to that. So I think that's super important. You know, to just be aware, to be able to make those shots and be conscious of them. I think, I don't know, I'm sure it's a lot challenging than what you guys make it look so easy, and I'm sure it's not.
Yeah. No, like the nerve before going out to a fight or whatever, like even thinking of fighting in bare knuckle, I'll be driving, I'll have a song on, and then I'm thinking of walking out, and I'm like, oh, butterflies, oh my God. And then it's just, you know, it is very mental. It really is.
Right.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's fun trying to put it all together.
Anybody that does combat sports, you got to understand something. We're built differently, okay? Maureen, Jake, any MMA fighter, any boxer out there, anybody, we're built a little differently. We were the type of people that when we got punched, we didn't go like what is a normal reaction from people where they're like, oh no, you know, we're sort of built like, oh, okay,
Please don't.
now this is going to be, okay, now I got to get this back. And it's a little, people used to tell me, you guys are a little off. And I would say, no, it's just some people, I have friends that do amazing things. Other things that I'd be like, oh, that's nuts. There's no way I would, you know, be terrified to do this and that. But like Jake and Maureen and me in my time and the rest of my fighters, we get jabbed in the face and we're like, oh, we better slip. Oh, we got to get that back. It's not, oh, let me get out of here.
Like that killer instinct.
And that's something that you don't teach that.
Right.
You have to have that
You can't
inside
teach
you
it.
naturally.
But there's also different levels of that, and that's why when I said about Jake being tailor-made for bare knuckle, you know, there's different levels to that ability to get hit, because to get hit with a fist like that, but to also maintain your composure and intelligence, and also plan and execute that with precision, because again, the unforgiving part is if he's getting hit, it's gonna be his face, but if he's hitting, it's gonna be his hand. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken into consideration. There's a lot of science behind it, knowing how to punch, knowing when to really throw it, knowing to say, okay, I'm going to throw this punch like this, and if I break my hand, if the guy's out, if the guy's pretty much going down, I'd be like, just break your hand, freaking smash him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just to do it. You know, I mean, it's there, it's done. I mean, I guess that's the crazy part. But
I'm so glad we're on the same side.
We will handle whatever comes up. We will handle whatever comes during the fight.
You adjust.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Melissa, you got any more questions for Jake?
Jake, I need more stories on your kitty cats. They made my day. They're hilarious, those cats.
You heard it, Jake. That's it.
Oh,
Show the cat.
insane.
He's jamming.
Saint
He's
is the white one, and then the other one is who?
No. Saint's the white one, and Salem's the little man in the corner.
Oh, I see. Okay.
See him? Yeah. Saint and Salem. My little.
So, Mo, Derik, Jake, I know you guys work out of Boca right now, right? You got multiple gyms. I know you're out of Boca PAL sometimes, and then what else have you
Most
got
of the
going
time.
on? And I know
Most of the time.
you're doing classes, with boot camps going on. Talk to us about that. What's going on?
Boot camp stuff. That's more Mo's
I'll leave it up to Maureen. That's
Yeah, Mo, tell us what's going on.
So Phil DeRue, he partnered with Mo Vaughn, it's Mo Sports Academy. Obviously, Baseball Sports Academy, for those of you that know who Mo Vaughn is, he was first baseman for the Red Sox, you know, great hitter. And so now we have a DeRue Strong Performance Center. So with the partnership, the 50-50 partnership, we've got a fitness industry facility over there. So we've got the fighters there. Phil and the team of performance coaches also work with the baseball players, football players. So it's really an across the board. Phil really wanted to expand more programming, not just for combat sports, but he wanted to transition it over because it can be applicable and beneficial for other sports, other athletes like baseball. And I think the love for him is starting them at a younger age to really get them understanding their bodies and functional movement and application to their sports. And I know that even for his son, Leonidas just turned 6. So I know that, he's got a little bit of that, and I'm sure working with younger kids to prepare them for what's to come. So we've got anywhere from, I think they start as low as 10 or even 7, I think. We've got them pretty young. So we've got a couple teams right now that have going baseball, soccer, football, some prospects, some strategic prospects. And
Where are you located?
Huh?
Where are you located?
It's in Boca. It's in Boca, right on Congress. We're literally
7624 Northwest 6th Avenue, Boca Raton, Florida 33487. That is the Bond
7624.
Performance Center.
Right, we can post that information. We'll put it up there.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it up. And Mo, also, I see you've got some very talented ladies training under you right now.
Oh yeah. This isn't my interview. This is about Jake.
Let's talk about it. Let's chop it up. Come on.
So I mean, yeah, I kind of accidentally stumbled upon working with some females. I believe that was God. God was like pushing me to do it. I kind of was resistant because of my career and just time and stuff. But then when I met these very special women, all of them, and I'm very grateful to be working with them. I have one of them sparring tomorrow. Tessie Estevez, and anybody who sees my stories, I realize, I've gone through so much women's boxing to get to where I am that it would almost be like wrong of me not to share, I mean, I want to say it's not a shortcut, but, I went through a lot and I had to learn things a certain way. And I'm like, I don't want anybody else to have to go through what I went through. So I do an intro to women's boxing class at Delray Boxing Gym as well on Saturday mornings, and I do it. It's really, for me, it's more passion project than anything else. I wouldn't call it a job because I just genuinely want to see these women grow and thrive and love my sport. And, I mean, if we don't have females that like boxing, women's boxing is going to suffer,
Right.
Get fans. So I think women will prefer to watch women. They watch the guys, not to them, but to see other women doing it too gives them a sense of empowerment. So I just felt like, and these women love it. They love it and they're doing great. And all the guys support them. Jake's fit in there with one of them. So
I think Maureen is even being almost too modest. I sit back and watch. I sit back and I watch her work, and it's been pretty impressive.
Right.
Just to see her coming up and working with these women. Like she said, it's not even about them being competitive or turning into fighters, but I personally have seen like even their own changes in attitude. You can see it. You can see them glow. She's really taken a mentorship and a leadership role sort of with them. And I think that's great. She's passing on knowledge, but not only knowledge of the sport and the technique, but most sort life knowledge too. She has a lot of everything. She has a lot of great things to offer. And I just, sometimes I sit back and I'm kind of like, wow, I can tell the difference of when they started to where they're at now, and all compliments in the world to her. And she also, even, I'll tell you this much, even her experience helps me. There's a lot of times where she'll be sitting in the background and I'm working with a fighter, and you can't notice everything as a trainer sometimes, and there's little things you miss. And she, like me, sometimes is very detailed, or she'll give me an idea, and sometimes it works, and I'm not that egotistical of a person to know. First of all, she's a hell of a fighter herself, so I can sit back, listen to her, and see if it works for me. More often than not, it does. So I've always been. I could say that those women are blessed to have met her, and vice versa, because I'm sure she gets something out of that, too.
I feel sometimes
I'm definitely very blessed that she walked into the gym one day and asked me would I consider training her, and I can tell you that thank God I sat and thought about it for 30 seconds and didn't say like I was too busy or nothing, because it's really been a total life-changing experience to have her around in our life.
Yeah, you know, we have that. That's a different interview. We have that interview where you said, and that's on our YouTube channel. But no, I'm just thinking, you know, we want to get back out there in the world also. So we'll come down and visit you guys in the gym one of these days, and you know, we'll bring the camera.
It's the dynamic, not to it's the dynamic of all of us. I mean, like it's such we have such a great group that like it's like a party. You don't want to leave hanging out with us because we're so awesome.
I'm just gonna say that you guys are such a great group of
energy, and it's funny because we rip on each other, we laugh at each other. Like, you know, just like today I was strengthening and I had a hole in my pants, so I had to wear an extra large shirt, and I had the hole was in the worst spot. It was like right there, so I had them covering me with a towel and stuff, and they're looking at me like it's just funny because we're like a big family, you know, all of us. And
she was proper stressing about that hole in her crutch.
You're in that journey together.
It made such a big deal.
I know. Anyway, exactly. But I still hit my PR. Okay. Okay.
What's that?
I said I still hit my PR, so that's all that matters. All in all.
Well, it's called a PV. It's a personal
woman.
Say PR.
Personal record.
I mean, look, this interview was about Jake, and now, you know, now Maureen, you know, you did hit a PR today. We saw it on Instagram, but it's like the third one this month or something. Come on, what's going on?
Yeah, she's been on a rise. Not only I drop in on them sometimes to watch. Obviously, not to say anything, but I sit in the background. Many of my fighters train with Phil Daru and his training crew. They're extremely talented. I'm very happy with that partnership that we have there for the fighters that are able to work with him. I've seen results. I can tell you I've seen incredible results with all of them. But now that we were talking about Maureen, yeah, the like you said, the last couple months. I mean, actually, the last month, she's hit a couple of those personal records. And I can say the last 2 or 3 days of training, she was extremely sharp. Extremely quick and punching a little harder. So Phil and the crew, they're doing an excellent job on their side.
Well, I'm glad.
Question: I have seen Jake and Maureen sparring, right? Jake holding the mitts, Maureen doing her drills. What is it with you punching Jake in the gut? Like, that, and why are you that sick in the head?
No, we do it to each other. He's hitting
him in the ribs.
Yo, she takes a dig. She can take a dig.
I wouldn't want to get hit by Mo.
We give each other body shots all the time in between sets and stuff. We're always doing that.
What's going on with that, Jake? Is that part of the training? Does it make you stronger, or?
Well, yeah, that is any kind of conditioning, getting hit in the core, you know. And obviously, she whacks me, but I'll whack her back. So we help each other out. Like that.
I tell Dad
to really ask for it.
Yeah, I hit her. Like, she can take it. She's solid.
Well, Jake, listen, man, we've had you on here for almost an hour, and we appreciate you coming on here. Yeah, but time flies when you're having fun.
This much love. My famo.
Love you guys.
Okay, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, Jake, before we leave?
Shout out to loads of people. Now, my parents that are tuning in right now. If you're not watching this, so yeah, now thinking of you guys.
You got a PR person now, I see.
What was that?
I said you must have hired a PR person.
Yeah, no, something like that. I need a PR person, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, no, I just want to thank obviously Derik and obviously Phil Daru and you know, I'm new training now at Sanford MMA with Henry Hoof and their team. I haven't been there for a little while, just been a little bit busy and occupied, but you know, it's been nice to mix things up and meet new people and be around really good people like Maureen. And Derik, man, thank you so much for obviously making me as I am, and I will be seeing you in the morning for sparring some. Just thank you to all my friends and family when are supporting behind me, and yeah, trying to make this career a fun, enjoyable path. So yeah. Appreciate the love, people.
Can we see the fists? Can we see the fists? Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Scary. Scary.
Bare knuckle, here we come.
Hopefully soon. Oh, wait. Can you see my cat? Oh,
Is that your pussy?
That's my pussy, son. And then I got a couple of palm trees as well.
Darwin got a cruises
This
now.
is new for my boys. What?
It's a family show. Come on.
It's so great. I love it.
You can say pussycat, Matt.
Pussycat, all right?
Of course you can.
Pussycat, Matt.
Come on, Matt.
That was most cute.
Thank you. Have a great pussycat.
Thank you, man. It took a while.
So we got some kids. We got some kids that want to say hello.
Awesome.
Who?
Kids.
Rosetti's kids.
Where they at?
Rosetti's got a bad. He's got a
Come on.
bad connection,
So
but
adorable.
He's got a bad connection.
he was with his kids, wanted to say hello. But yeah, Jake, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you so much for having us on, and obviously talking business and life and whatever. You guys are great energy, and appreciate everything. So all the best to you guys also.
Yeah, we'll have you on again after your next fight or whenever you want to come on, man. Just give us a call.
Yeah, and we'll sort something out for sure. I appreciate it. Love
The
the love.
Fighting News door is always open to you, Jake Brutal Bostwick. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, Derik Santos. Lovely to see you guys. Bittersweet to see you again.
Derik, you want to give a shout out, Derik?
Well, yeah, I'd like to first of all say thank you to you guys, the Fighting News. You've always supported our squad and our team. To Phil DeRue, to Boca Pau, to Mo Vaughn and Bonnie Alexander. I mean, with the Vaughn Academy. I'm sorry, Vaughn Academy, and all the supporters of all my fighters, because I appreciate that they have the support from the fans out there. And again, thank you to the fighters themselves and the managers who trust me to guide them, which they're the product. And so, from the heart, I say thank you for that. And please keep supporting us. Keep wishing us well. We're going to try to go out there. I know you can't win them all, but guess what? We're going to try to do it.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Well,
Let's go.
I want it all. I want it all.
Yeah, man. Well, Derik, we're always here to support you, man. It's been a pleasure, getting to know you over this past year or two, and I look forward to more, man. Definitely.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Okay, so let's say goodbye to our guests, and then we'll wrap it up there.
Guys.
All right.
Thanks
Good
so
night.
much.
Let's say goodbye to Debbie Gamble. She's always looking out. Hey, Debbie.
Okay.
All right, guys. Good to see
all
you.
right, so,
Are we leaving? Am I staying? What's going on?
What's up?
Can I take your line now?
no, Melissa, you and Steve are gonna.
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of requests on Facebook comments. The girls on Facebook, Jake, they want to see the body.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Let's
come
chop it
on.
up.
They want to see the body, Jake.
None of that.
They want to see the body. You gave them a gunshot. They want to see more.
Don't
Come on,
embarrass
don't
the guy.
really.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh,
I don't know. It's not me. It's not me.
Give your chest
First,
up.
let's find out.
Chest.
Give your
Woo!
chest up. Is that right? That's what you're gonna get.
All right.
Boom.
You're
There you go.
What do you have to say about that?
Nice, very nice. I'm sure. I'm
Steve,
sure.
it's your turn.
It's my turn.
Come on, guys. Shirts off. Let's go. Guns off still, Sam.
Guns and
Yes,
shit.
sir. Yes, sir. Damn. I'm gonna start a new podcast. It's gonna be called "Living with Jake Brutal Bostwick," and I'm gonna have him move into my house, and he's gonna train me and see. Because Maureen looks huge. Her shoulders and her traps, they look really big. I like.
How do
You guys are doing something right over there.
How do you
Listen,
take those shots to the body?
You
It's
what?
like every third punch she's throwing, it's to your core.
Yeah, she bangs it. She's solid. And listen, her
I
backward
know.
tracks, like, she's solid, mate.
Are you
Like,
bracing yourself the whole time?
Oh yeah, you'll have to. 'Cause if you're not, then they're gonna hit your guts, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's all
So
about
more-
controlling your breathing, keeping your core tight, being able to control your breathing while keeping your core tight. When you get
For
better
sure.
at planks and things like that, you just kind of understand the body and the core strength,
So Jake, are you single now? Because the girls on Facebook, I can get you a lot of dates. I'm reading all the comments on Facebook, and damn.
Okay. Yeah. So whatever. I'm not interested in trying to chase girls or all that stuff. I'm focused on my career and just getting my head down. I don't need to.
What if they chase you though?
I have girls chasing me, so I've got to pump the brakes and tell them old fire. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm single, but at the end of the day, I'm enjoying doing my own thing.
You're married to MMA.
Well, I want to be married to bare knuckle, but I'm just married to fighting in general.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Let's get this guy a fight. David Feldman, if you're watching, let's go. Sign him up. He's ready. He trains every day. He trains every day, Dave, and he doesn't mess around with women, Dave. Right now, he's ready to kill somebody, man. Let's go.
Steve, I think your volume's a little back.
What?
Steve, turn the volume down a little.
I'm just excited. We need to get him a fight, man. We need to get him a
I
fight.
appreciate the love, guys. I do appreciate that. Hopefully soon, I'll be able to show the world something, just sitting there waiting, but whatever it is, what it is.
Yes, sir.
What it is. We got you, Jake. Man, have a good day. It's great talking to you. We'll have you on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate having me on, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, Jake.
Okay.
Good seeing you, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, there you have it, Matt. So, we want to thank our sponsor, Fusion CBD.
I just want to say this. So, Maureen, with her personal best there, she did a 240-pound squat.
Is that more than you can do, or?
Absolutely, it's more than with my back. Are you kidding me? I'm not squatting 240 pounds.
Like,
but what I'm
that?
saying is this. What I'm saying is this. If we ever get into like a car accident or I pass out somewhere, the girl can lift me over her shoulders and pick me up, give or take 10 pounds. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the girls on Facebook now, Matt, are asking if you're single. So
he's single.
You'll have to DM me to find out.
DM Matt, all the girls. He's single. Single.
I'm that's it.
So I went by Palm Beach Boxing. They gave me this nice wrist Palm Beach Boxing. You see it?
Yeah,
Bracelet?
good looking out.
Bracelet, Palm Beach Boxing. Shout out. Yes, sir. They want me to.
Palm Beach Boxing, man. Last year at this time, they had all the amateur events going on, and you remember that, Melissa, right?
Yeah.
We got some great
Yep.
out of there. We met some great people.
It's been a great journey, man. Like, I just can't get over how fortunate I am to have met you guys. And though I was not always a fan, having experienced all this stuff has definitely made me a true fan. And I'm like so grateful to be able to do interviews with you guys, go to events with you guys, interview guys like Jake Bostwick and, Maureen Shea and Yuli Monster. I mean, we got Erwin Rivera. I'm just so excited for everything that's going to transpire, hopefully in the next 6 months, because there's a lot of things that have been on hold and everybody's been training so hard. It's just going to be crazy.
Well, that night, first of all, and, your 1 year anniversary is coming up. Melissa, I know what day it is. Steve knows what day it is.
Where are we going to eat?
So we are going to celebrate. It's coming up. It's in about 5 weeks. I know exactly the date that it is, but we are going to show your audition tape.
Audition tape. We have it.
What audition tape?
The one at the fights.
When you were sitting on the couch and Shavana just started doing interviews with us, and you said,
"Where's Siobhan's audition tape?"
You said tonight she didn't have an audition. She just did her first interview. I said, "That's so and so. Do you want to interview her?" And they did. So no, but you took the mic. Steve, you're giving me friggin' seasickness. So anyway, Melissa, you took the mic. No, you said, "Can I?"
I don't want to talk about it.
And I said, yes, take the mic, But then I started the camera up, and you're like, "No, you can't film me." Well, if you're talking my mic, then we got to get it on, And then you did like a little plug for the fighting news, man, and it was great. And then
it's been a long road. It's been a long road. I remember, like, even now I get butterflies. I get really nervous still, but I feel a lot more comfortable than I did initially. And I'm so glad that I finally have gotten to the point where it's not so scary.
well,
So
we've been doing this for years, and he still can't.
I still stutter. So at the end of the day, we me and Matt and Mike have been doing this for quite some time, and it really didn't feel like a real team until Melissa, Siobhan, and Caroline came along, and
girls, we've got to get everybody together. 2019 Fighting News. I'm sorry, I had a migraine. Sorry.
And we also won an award when we signed up with you guys and signed the girls up, and big things coming for the Fighting News. All the major boxing, MMA, and fight companies, they all want to be involved with the Fighting News. And, it's just a testament, to all the hard work that Matt, me, Mike, Melissa, Siobhan, Caroline, even our photographer, Gerardo Ramos. I mean, we want to get him a gig.
Gerardo, are you?
We want to get him a gig traveling the world. Check out Gerardo, photos by Gerardo. Check him out. He's got ridiculous photos. He should be traveling the world, taking pictures for these fighting events. Because right now he's just exclusively doing it in Florida, and he's killing it. So,
definitely
big props.
Talented guy. Definitely a talented guy. And everybody who knows us knows Gerardo's the guy.
Yeah. So also shout out to Titan FC. They have an event coming out on the 28th.
August 28th.
August 28th. You got a bunch of people. You got a bunch of amateurs going pro for their debut. Also, there's Rise has an event. Not an event, but they're picking out of a hat this Sunday. They're picking out who faces who in their matchup.
That's exciting.
Yep.
That's super exciting.
Yep. And September 11th, we have Bare Knuckle FC Fight Championships. They're doing an event in Daytona. Matt says he wants to go.
Let's do this. Let's go to Daytona. TFN, the Fighting News.
We're going.
Matt hasn't given me 100%. Hands up, thumbs up. But I'm waiting for Matt to give me the go ahead, and then we're going a road trip.
Matt, it's all on you.
It's all on you. The whole plan. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to rent. We're not going to rent it. We're going to buy one. We're going to buy a van. We're going to buy a Fighting News van.
And we're going to wrap it. We're going to wrap it.
Go on the road. I mean, look, I only got a couple of years until I retire, and then that's it, man. I'm on the road.
How many years, Matt? How many?
I'm on the road.
How many years you're going to retire?
It depends. We'll see what the situation. It could be 2, it could be 5, it could be 10.
What do you need? 20 years teaching to get a pension?
25.
25. How many of those 25 you have in there?
25.
You got 25 years pension already?
I got 25 years teaching. I've been teaching 25 years.
So you can
I need to make an order.
Shit. Damn.
I've been teaching 20, but the thing is, you got to be 52 to collect any kind of health benefits and stuff like that.
So were you teaching since you were like 15?
Yes, exactly. I was one of those.
Ladies who is single and available, ready to mingle.
I was one of those Doogie Howser kind of kids, and I just went in there, and I was super smart, and I graduated college when I was 16, and that's it, man. I got my first teaching job in New York City, and it was fun for about 10 years. Then I decided I wanted some warm weather and came back here.
So let's talk about that. So Melissa, I know Melissa's killing it in the real estate world. So we do have lives. We do have lives, people, in our regular everyday lives. Melissa, tell us about what you do, and tell us about it.
Well, it's actually been quite a interesting journey. I got involved in real estate about 4 years ago, and a lot of things that I've learned in real estate is that no deal is the same. That's number one. So there's always something to learn, and you learn a lot about people, and you learn a lot about yourself and matchmaking and identifying what's really important to people. When it comes to putting them in a better situation than they were before, or, just making sure that they're happy in the home that they're investing in. A lot of the times when they invest in a home, it's the biggest investment of their life, or one of the
for sure.
And I feel grateful to be able to be a part of that. So I take pride in it, and over the years I've gotten better and better, and I love to hear, wow, like, you're really good at what you do. And I'm like, because I take it seriously, passionate about it, I understand it, and I want to leave you in a better place than you were before. So yes, I've been killing it. I know, people think COVID, the pandemic, you're struggling. And honestly, with the way the interest rates have been, they've been so low that if anybody ever had any question in buying a property, now would be the time. Because
South Florida's booming. Yeah,
it's so affordable to do now. So if you have any questions, it doesn't cost you anything to reach out to me. I'll be happy to give you advice.
Ballesteri Realty.
With the Fighting News, you can contact me that way or through Instagram.
So scroll that information on the bottom there, Steve.
How do I do that?
Steve's got to do it. He's got to type it in there. So, don't spell.
Okay. You guys know I sell real estate. If you need a rental, if you want to sell your house, if you want to buy a house, hit me up. I'm here to answer your questions. It doesn't cost me anything.
There you go.
That being said, promoting one another. Steve, I need masks, and I need to place an order for masks. Everybody loves the masks you made me.
Melissa, what has been your best moment with the Fighting News?
Ooh, my best.
Aside from that dinner we
Several
had.
best moments. Can I give you like my top 3?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
this is Melissa's Mount Rushmore of the Fighting News.
all right, so I'll tell you. Clearly, like, I didn't grow up around boxing or fighting or anything like that, but I did come into this opportunity with you guys, and through that, I've learned to appreciate the sport and to appreciate the industry. And I'd say, having now almost been doing this with you guys for about a year, I've seen amateurs go pro, and I'm on a first name basis with them. And you guys know I have a son in college. My kid's 19 years old. I don't know how I did it, but I successfully raised a 19-year-old who's self-sufficient and does well in school. And I'm so fortunate for that. And it's kind of like that, like from a mom standpoint, I see these kids, these guys grow from amateur to pro. And that alone has made me like a true, genuine fan. To see the process, to see the journey, to see the hard work that they put in has been super rewarding. Kind of that of like being a mom. So like watching them grow from this. So Yuli Monster, having had the opportunity, I didn't even know the deep water I was stepping into when I had the opportunity to interview him and his kids. And then I see later, like, wow, like Yuli Monster, like everybody loves him. I'm so lucky I got to interview him. Erwin Rivera is another one. Blake Bad Davis is another one. And it's only been a year. And I'm so looking forward to what comes with the Fighting News, with you guys, and with all these athletes that pour their hearts, their lives, their souls into their craft. All they do is try to perfect their crafts consistently on a daily basis. And that alone, no matter what you're into, no matter even if you're not into fighting, that is admirable.
Yeah.
That's admirable. They put everything into it. They put everything on the line, and they don't know if they're going to make it. It's such a competitive sport. And a lot of the times, guys, the guys that we have interviewed do make it. They've got that much heart. And I don't know if you're intuitive enough. I myself, when I meet somebody, whether I know at the moment or not what it was, I know something about them. Like, wow, there's something about that guy that they're going to be amazing. Like, I can just see it. They're special. That heart.
And that's exactly why you asked me for the microphone.
What do I see? They go pro, and I'm like super proud, like their mom.
Yeah.
So
Matt,
those are the highlights of being with you guys so far, and it's been amazing. I'm looking so.
what's your Matt? What's those are good. Those are good, Melissa. I
I'm
enjoy
sorry,
those.
I kept talking and talking.
What's yours, Matt? What's your 3 highlights working with the Fighting News?
Oh man.
What's your most memorable moments?
You know what? Well,
other than meeting Melissa, because I know that's other than that.
Well, you know what I think was really great. First of all, obviously it was great meeting Melissa, but that's an easy answer.
Stop.
But interviewing Hoist Gracie with Siobhan, right after it was Siobhan's, maybe she was working with us for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And it was her birthday. And she had just gotten her blue belt or her purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Now here she is interviewing Hoist Gracie. There was a lot of it really meant a lot to her.
Yeah.
That was definitely a big deal. A lot of the stuff that we've done with Maureen Shea. The interviews and the promotions leading up to her fight in January, especially. Those are some of my favorite moments. We went down there to the gym and we watched her spar with Carolina Duer, and we watched her. We also celebrated her birthday in the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see that one, Melissa, when I sang Happy Birthday? Me and Derik? Derik, we're like, man.
No, that was like.
Yeah.
Very beginning when I just joined you guys, and I was still scary and nervous about everything. You actually
this was back in January. This was
nervous. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm going to say, and then I missed out.
This was in this one was in January. This was right. I think it was January. It's like the second week of January, or whatever. And I think it takes more guts to put a video like that of me and Derik singing Happy Birthday.
Totally. For sure.
But
do you want to play it? Do you have it on hand? Where's it at?
It's on YouTube. I don't know. Steve could look it up somewhere. But it's really the other thing that I really like is the amateur boxers. Working with those kids.
The kids, the Golden Gloves.
Especially the younger ones, because
I just watched Brian Polanco. We met him at the WBA Future Champions along with Harold Calderon.
Yeah.
Pure Perfection. I forget.
Yeah, it's Pure Perfection. I follow her on Instagram.
I just call them what their Instagram names are. Don't shoot me.
Her name is Shamara.
These kids, man, they're so talented and have so much heart. There's nothing stopping kids.
Right. What about?
Thank you, the Fighting News fans.
There was Steve, be quiet.
Hi.
Dude, we're ending the show. We're out.
I was done 30 minutes ago. I was done long.
All right. Thank you guys for following. Visit our sponsor, FusionCBD.com, for all your CBD
needs.
Mm-hmm.
Follow Maureen Shea. Follow Brutal Bostwick.
And Derik Santos Boxing Family.
Derik Boxing Family. Again, www.fusioncbdproducts.com. Mention the Fighting News for your discount. Thank you so much. Tune in. We're going to have more shows coming to you. Bye, guys. Good seeing you.
Tune in on the 28th. Titan FC. Come on.
Titan FC, 28th.
We will be there.
Let's go.
Night.
Bye.
Good night, all.